is your host, Holly, and it's time for a little teaser talk. Going on, everyone. Happy Teaser Talk Tuesday, and welcome to the podcast, Alan Goldsher. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, Holly. How are you?
I am fabulous. I am starting my day talking to you, and I'm excited to get re-energized about talking about music and emo music and 90s rock and music in general. So
bring it on. I'm always excited to chop it up about 90s music. It seems like, I'm sort of stuck in that era, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think some people may be like, dude, get in the present. It's 2024. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen to my grunge stuff. I'm happy. I'm going to make myself a Green Day playlist to exercise to tomorrow,
Correct. Yeah. And I was happy that I feel like for a moment in time, emo was coming back, and I feel like it's still there, but I was excited to kind of see how it's cool again for like maybe a year span. But
yeah, did you ever read the book Meet Me in the Bathroom?
Sir, I don't even know you yet. At least take me to dinner. I'm kidding. What'd you say?
It's a book called Meet Me in the Bathroom. It's an oral history. I love me some oral histories about the history of emo and downtown New York. And if you are down with that stuff, which I know you are, you got to read it. And it's only like 700 pages, so you'll be fine.
Beautiful. I'm going to make sure to get that on Audible so I can hear it, because
100%.
I'm more so an Audible type of gal. Anyway, so I'm excited to dive more into your story, but real quick, can you give a little bit of an introduction for listeners who aren't familiar with who you are?
Okay, so I am a bass player, I am a producer, and I am a writer, and I am busy, obviously, with all that.
Clearly, with all those.
Yeah. RE the writing, we're going to start with the more pedantic stuff first. Been writing since like 96. Wrote a book, probably more saliently for this interview, kind of a Modest Mouse biography, which Isaac Brock in print threatened to kill me about because there was all filled with lies. I should note that I reached out to his team like a million times to try and get interviews with the guys. But I was not thrilled about the threat because he is a bare knuckle boxer, at least was at the time.
I mean, he would. No offense, but there's a good chance he might fuck you up.
100%. Oh, 100%.
You can't fight. But
oh no, I can't fight. No,
it's a little aggressive.
I'm a wuss. I'm an artiste. We don't. We're
not fighters up in here.
Exactly. But I'm also a jazz guy, and I wrote a book about Art Blakey, the drummer. I wrote a book about Dave Brubeck, the pianist. I wrote a few novels that are set in the music industry, and I also have done a lot of freelance work. I've written for Bass Player Magazine. I've written for Guitar Player Magazine. I've written for Drum Magazine. And I also do a lot of sports writing, for which I've written for Playboy, which is how we met, actually. Yep. We met when Holly did a wonderful interview for Playboy.com, which will be
hopefully it's wonderful to be determined. We'll see.
Oh, it's fantastic. You crushed it, dude. You nailed it. It was really fun. I do some writing I've done writing for Apple. I've done writing for NBA.com, NFL.com, blah, blah, blah. That's my writing life. That's what,
quick, though, before we move on to the next list of 500 things that you are talented on.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on AI, the whole copywriting thing, ChatGPT, Jasper AI, all these things?
Great question. Yeah, great question. I use it for very specific things, right?
Yeah.
When you're writing about sports, you got to find the picayune nerd stats, and that's a great place to do it. Saves a ton of time. Like this morning, for instance, I was writing an article about the Chicago Bears, as I want to do because I'm from Chicago. And I needed to find out some quarterback stats, some really nerdy quarterback stats. So rather than go to one of my go-to stat sites, I just pop into ChatGPT. Hey, how many sacks has Caleb Williams taken this year?
Yeah.
And spits it right out. The other thing I like to do on ChatGPT is optimize headlines, right? I don't always use the optimizations they give me. I'll write something like Holly Nicole does blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I can do better than that. So I'll enter it into ChatGPT and say, spew out 10 of these optimized for clickability and SEO. And it'll spew out 10 of them. Sometimes I'll use it, sometimes I don't. But my brain does not think all the time in SEO language,
Yes.
right? So that's been super helpful in that respect. In terms of actual writing, not happening. You can tell, and I mean, it's not always going to be this way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not always going to be this way, but you can tell right now when something has been written by AI. It's going to get better because it's AI and that's what it does. But for right now, I want nothing to do with that. And I don't think, and this is we're getting off topic here, but I don't think that AI is going to ever eliminate copywriters. It's just not going to happen. There's too much creativity involved, and the computer can be as creative as it wants. It can suck up every book in the history of mankind, but it's never going to have that warmth and that honesty. It's a computer, 100%. And you can tell it's a computer.
Yeah, and I'm a marketing nerd, so like I know that's why I wanted to touch on this, because I use AI, just probably like everybody else, but I always like to say you have to have AI with AI. You have to have actual intelligence and bring it to life. And we all see it like scrolling on Instagram or wherever, and we're like, oh, they chat GPT that shit. Like, totally. Don't be a chat GPT that shit person, you guys. Anyway,
no, be real. I would rather have you write like shit. Than have someone else write something fake. You know what? Put it in your voice. If you're not a writer, who cares?
Yeah, it was interesting, and I'm sure it's gotten better, but it was about 2 years ago. I was like, trying to create like my, content marketing plan and, try to lay out some content. And I was like, okay, so I told like the prompts, like, give me like all of these people's birthdays. And it was like, musicians clearly, because it's for teaser talk. Right. And I don't know people's birthday. I barely know my own. I have like, that's a whole nother story. I have like 2 birthdays. But anyways, so like I was looking and I was just, fact checking it, and they were completely fucking wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing would it be for me to post like on the podcast of like, happy birthday, so-and-so. And they're like, bitch, get your dates right. I was born in
100%. 100%. My birthday is September 21st for what it's worth.
Yeah. November 21st. Oh,
September 21st.
Oh, September. I was going to say.
So hook a brother up.
Happy belated birthday. How about that?
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. RE, my music career, which is ultimately why we're here. Started playing bass in high school. Fell in love with jazz. Right, I was before I started playing bass. I was like a soul guy, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire. That tells you how old I am. And a lot of Chicago, because that was our local band. So like a lot of horn-oriented soul, rock, et cetera, et cetera. It's also a Beatles nut.
I can't see it because it's not in view, but this is my favorite vinyl. You see the Stevie Wonder one up there?
I do see the Stevie Songs in the Key of Life.
God, that's literally my favorite vinyl.
Yeah, I have many an argument with my Stevie nerd friends. It's like, is it Intervisions? Is it Talking Book? No, it's Songs in the Key. That's the bomb. That's the one.
That's like, I could cook to it. I could clean to it.
Sir Duke. Come on, that's all you need. Sir Duke. Hard stop. Right. So once I started falling down the jazz rabbit hole, that helped me become a better bassist, right? I switched from electric to upright, then kind of straddled the line between both of them, moved out to New York and started playing. This is like in the early 90s, and acid jazz was like the big thing at that point, right? So I played at this club called Giant Step, amazing club. It was a DJ, this guy named Jazzy Nice, and a rhythm section, me, drummer, keyboardist, and then guests galore. So the DJ would start a groove, and then we would literally like walk up on the stage, and I'd lay down a bass line, the drummer would lay down a beat, and then the DJ would drop out, and it would just be like kind of a jazz funk jam session.
Like an improv, like would you like just go up there and just play whatever?
100%. Yeah, we would, figure out the key. We'd like yell at each other. All right, this one's in C minor, da da da. But the coolest part about all that, aside from just like playing really great music, was the guests, because it was sort of like a hot and happening and hip club, and all these like hip hoppers and soul people would show up and hop on stage. The most memorable one was, this is one of my greatest musical moments, Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel came up on stage. Yeah. So the story behind that one is they popped up, and Melly Mel at that point was wearing, he's probably like in his 50s, and he was jacked. He's up there in a sleeveless shirt, muscles galore, could not have been nicer. So we found a groove, we're playing the groove, he raps over it, and then we go to the breakdown, right? And he's like, give the drummer some, give the drummer some. And the drummer took some, give the keyboard player some, give the key. So then the keyboard player some. And then he goes, give the bass player some. So I'm like, okay, I had been planning because I knew it was coming. I'm like, okay, what am I going to play that's going to make the crowd go, ah? So I picked a James Brown bass line. It's a really famous one. Da 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 da, and I hit that, and the crowd's like, ah! And that was
the crowd goes wild.
Magical moment. Not too long thereafter, I hooked up with. You remember the group Diggable Planets?
No.
Cool like that.
Mm-mm.
Kind of a one-hit wonder, rap, jazz, soul kind of a thing.
My kind of jam though. So do me that when we get done, because I'm gonna look them up.
100%. So I got to play with them, and I was lucky to do so because they had a moment. They had a big hit, and we were able to tour the world. Right? I saw places I would never, ever be able to go to otherwise. Excuse me, never be able to go to otherwise. Got to play at places, got to play for, tens of thousands and we played at Glastonbury. So in that case, 100,000 some odd people. That went on for a year and change. It culminated with a performance on the Grammy Awards in 1994, which was just incredible. Again, like so honored.
So many magical moments.
100%. Yeah, I'm really lucky. I never for a minute take any of that for granted, right? And if I'm going to give a piece of advice to any musicians out there, if you find yourself doing well, right, whether it's playing at a club for like 600 people or playing at an arena for 19,000 people, own it, be proud of it, be excited about it, because these people are coming. And you know about this as a podcaster, that people want to come and hear your art.
Absolutely.
It's really special.
That's why Teaser Talks exists, right? That's why this podcast exists, because of that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Being able to reach out to people with doing something you love is amazing. So after that all kind of fell apart. Did some studio work. I was lucky enough to play with Cypress Hill. Did a track with Cypress Hill's producer that ultimately got used by Janet Jackson. Played with Naughty by Nature and just a bunch of other random cool stuff. Then I kind of drifted into the writing, still doing music, but not as a job, right? It was more for fun. Playing cover bands, playing 90s cover bands, which is basically how you and I
that's how we bonded.
That's how we bonded.
Moment. My people.
100%. So not too long thereafter, I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to start my own record label. I want to make my own music. I'm kind of tired of relying on other musicians to come to rehearsal prepared and on a timely basis, and to be as serious about it as I tended to be. I might have been a little too serious here and there, but when you're doing your own thing, when you're in your little studio, making your drum beats, hitting the bass lines, playing the keyboards, and you don't have to worry about other people showing up on time, and you can do exactly what you want to. And I love collaborating, right? This isn't like I hate other people and I'm only going to make my own music.
Like you do, but I'm joking.
Yeah. But so I started making tracks and tracks and tracks and more tracks. And I started a little record label. It's called Gold Note Records, an homage to Blue Note Records. And the gold comes from the Goldsher thing. Total corny, but I'm really proud of it. And since 2019, that's when the label launched, I've released 150 some odd songs, spread out over various singles, EPs, and albums. And I'm really proud of it. If I were to describe it, and it's really impossible to describe, but like it's rooted in jazz and hip hop, and funk. You play what you know, and that's what I know. And I'm just working on a track right now that's going to finish up an album that I'm hoping to drop, by next spring. And that brings us up to date.
I love it. So, of course, this is Teaser Talk. So I love a good teaser. Can you tease us with a little bit more details about that upcoming album?
The new album. Okay, so it's going to be called Groovy, and it's going to be a bunch of very short tunes, right? Because in doing my market research, such as it is, I'm learning that quick hits seem to work better. And, I normally don't do stuff with an eye towards commerce, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's like partly experiment and partly what I'm hearing in my little ears right now. Bunch of three-minute cuts, the same basic instrumentation for all of them. Bass, drums, loops, and a keyboard, mostly gravitating towards a Wurlitzer or a Fender Rhodes sound. So it's very stripped down. There's not much in the way of improvisation. There's not much in the way of melody. It's literally just grooves, right?
hence the name.
Hence the name. And I'm super psyched to put it out there. It's different than anything I've ever done. It's a lot mellower, and it's like a Netflix and chill kind of thing.
I absolutely love it. I know when you had shared your music, you're like, yeah, check it out, whatever, vibe to it, whatever. Maybe,
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to have you on podcast just because, like, again, anybody that's 90s rock, early emos fan is
Yeah.
mine. So I started listening to it, and I told you, I was like, messaging you, I was like, man, I was literally just playing it. And if you guys are listening to the audio experience, you can't see my shoulders, but I'm moving my shoulders right now.
You are.
And I was just like, and I literally just had that on like playing, and I'm one of your followers now on Spotify. So
That really means a lot. Like
yeah.
as you probably agree, because you are a kind person and have a lot of respect for your listeners and your art in general. If one person listens to one song and that's it, and they like that song and it makes them feel the way you just felt, I win. Game over. I win. I don't need. Having said that, I have gotten about 250,000 streams over the last several years combined, which Taylor Swift gets 250,000 streams in like an hour. But Taylor Swift
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a Swiftie, so I'm not impressed. So
that's true. I'm just picking. She's a big.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to give credit where credit's due. But
yeah. She's pretty. I mean, she's famous. You've heard of her, right?
A couple of times.
A little bit. So she gets like 1 million streams a second. I'll take my like weirdo music and get my 250,000 streams, and hopefully like there's some like-minded people out there who, maybe won't check out my music or check it out just a little bit, but will gravitate towards something in that space and maybe make some music of their own, something I can put on a playlist.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. Well, like I said a second ago, we definitely bonded over our love for the 90s early emos. And, I really love on Teaser Talk, not just obviously, hearing about all the cool shit my guests do, like all the cool shit you've done. I mean, shit, you have like, I thought you were cool before we were on this podcast. Now I'm like, damn, Alan's really fucking cool.
Oh,
With that being said, I like playing a game every now and then, and immediately whenever you said you agreed to be on the podcast, I was like, I already have a game in mind.
Bring it on.
So this game is called Decade Duel, 90s or 2000s emo lyrics.
Is this a contest? Are we like going up against each other?
No, it's not a contest. Well, wouldn't be fair because I would know the answers.
100%. You would absolutely know the answers.
Absolutely. Well, I'd let you win, but I would know in the back of my mind. I'm like, I know all these
because
answers.
You are a kind person.
I try to be. I really try to be. But with that being said, this is a brand new game to Teaser Talk. So even if you flop, you still got to win. You're still going to be the current outstanding champion until someone comes through.
The defending champion, yeah.
Until someone comes through, and then I was like, this guy, hold my
Owala.
Hold my black eyeliner. I've got this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the rules are very simple, or how to play it is very simple. I'm going to read a lyric, and you're either going to say, oh, that's 90s or that's early 2000s emo.
Wow. Okay, that's going to be hard.
I'll be honest with you. The way I read it, and I don't do this intentionally, but it just happens. It doesn't sound like the song. I played Emo Jeopardy with Barely Awake, and I even had them. They even guessed their own song wrong because the way I read the lyrics.
Yeah,
so
I feel that, but I will preface this by saying that as a jazz guy, I am first and foremost a melody guy, and then lyrics come second to me.
Yep.
Like when I was doing solo upright bass concerts, because everybody wants to hear a solo upright bass concert, I would pick. I had a Nirvana medley because Kurt Cobain used to write melodies.
Yes,
like you can recognize, but. You can recognize that, whereas like a lot of other artists are just like and you can recognize the lyrics but not the melody. So I'm a melody guy, but I will do the best I can. So all I need to do just to make sure I got this right, 90s or not 90s, basically.
Yeah, just say 90s or emo.
Okay, cool. 90s or emo.
I agree that some of these 90s are emo, but we'll know the difference between the two, right? Like,
okay,
emo, got it. Okay, so the first one is 1,000 clever lines unread on clever napkins. I will never ask you if you don't ever tell me. I know you well enough to know you'll never love me.
I mean, I don't know that song, but based on the kind of like, mopey little oh my god, I need love vibe, I'm gonna go with emo.
You are correct. So that is Cute Without the E, cut from the T by Taking Back Sunday.
Nice. All right.
Next one is I wish I was both young and stupid. Then I too could have the fun you did.
That is, I don't know that song again, and I'm probably going to get kicked in the nards for not knowing it because it's something probably really obvious. But it definitely has a grunge Seattle vibe. I sense the heroin in the lyrics, so I'm going to go with 90s.
You got it. It's Amy Mann. You Could Make a Killing, which
I
I don't know that song. So
I'm a terrible. I love Amy, man. Like I've seen her in concert a couple times. She's wonderful.
nice.
But I don't know that song. So sorry, Aim.
But hey, but you got it right. So you're welcome, Aim.
And also another thing, I will take back the heroin comment because I'm guessing Amy doesn't do needles.
No. But I mean, it's yeah. I know what you're saying, and I'm sure she does too. Okay, the next one is I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both. An older version of me, is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater?
Will she speak elegantly? Yeah, it's Alanis. So 90s.
I was like, man, he's totally gonna totally get that. And I try to like grab a snippet of that song that wasn't like, oh, okay, but yeah.
We played that in one of the aforementioned cover bands, A, and B. I always had an extra place for my heart in that because Flea plays bass on it, and
Yeah, of course.
Give me some Flea, and I'm a happy boy.
Beautiful. I love this. Okay, next one. With these lights off, as these wheels keep rolling on and on and on and on, slow things down or speed them up, not enough or way too much.
I mean, again, like that kind of has that whiny emo vibe, like on and on and on and on. So I'll go with emo.
You know what? You are correct. That is Ohio is for Lovers by Hawthorne Heights.
I don't know that band. I don't know that song, but
what? Okay, we're gonna exchange playlist after this episode.
100%, 100%. I'll send you my dorky jazz stuff. You can send me your emo.
Send you like music to cry to.
Exactly.
Or whatever, it works. Both of them. Okay, the next one is everything gone white, everything's gray. Now you're here, now you're away. I don't want this. Remember that. I'll never forget where you're at.
I think the everything is gray kind of leans me towards the emo direction.
Okay, finally you got one wrong. I was questioning my skill set on this. This is actually Bush Glycerine.
Oh, okay. I hate Bush. So good choice. If you want to, yeah, I'm not a fan at all. They seem very prepackaged, and I was like a grunge purist at that point.
Yeah.
And they're out there, Gavin's a very attractive man. He's out there.
I would let him take it and disrespect it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No, he had good abs. He probably had the best abs of any, alternative rock guy in the 90s, but didn't have the best songs.
I've always been a fan of them. I remember it was a couple years ago. I was doing media coverage and he was in the media tent, and one of my friends that was with me helping me with set up the podcast and stuff, she was like, I don't like him. Like she was just being polite. I guess like just smiled, didn't like say, hey, take a picture of me. Doesn't like whatever, like not crazy. She just like smiled and he like gave her like a go to hell look. And I'm like, well, he probably is like not trying to make eye contact because he doesn't want to like sit there and talk to every fucking buddy in this media tent.
Totally.
So to this day she's always like, F Bush, I don't like them. I'm like, just because he did smile back at you, he cannot take that freaking personal, but whatever.
Well, I have a little itty bitty Gavin story. I used to tour with this band called Shooty's Groove. It was kind of a Hispanic Chili Peppers kind of a thing. And somehow, I still have no idea how it happened, but somehow we ended up on a bill headlined by 311, and second band was No Doubt. This was like right when Just a Girl came out. Yeah. And this is when Gwen Stefani was with Gavin Rossdale. So he was around once in a while, and to his credit, like it was her show. He kind of stayed in the background a little bit. But to your point, to what you were saying, maybe he's just like super shy.
Yeah, that or is like, just like a don't talk to me type of person.
That too. We're nice people. Again, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll just say
100%. I'm sure, because I mean, I still like him to this day, but whatever. Okay, so moving on to the next one. I know I felt like this before, but now I'm feeling it even more because it came from you. Then I open up and see the person falling here is me, a different way to be.
again, I mean, that's like an open up your heart kind of song and lay it all on the table. Because remember, emo is short for emotional. And yeah, I'm going to go with an emo.
And I'm gonna go with you're wrong. That is the
Damn it.
Cranberries' Dreams.
Oh my God. I'm killing myself. I love the Cranberries.
I'm trying to find like the emo parts of these 90s so that obviously it doesn't give it too quickly away because yeah.
But again, like this is a melody thing, like da da
Mhm.
da da
Mhm.
da 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 da. So if you had given me that, say name this melody, I'd be like
That's it.
Cranberries.
You know,
Yeah.
I had a game. I have a game, and it's 80s rock jam or 80s porn soundtrack. You would rule at that. Not trying to say that you're educated in 80s porn, but it is those
I'm
weekly
not an
melody
80.
snippets.
I'm full
Mhm.
admission here. I am not an 80s music guy, not because of the musicianship or the songs,
Mhm.
but I hated the drum sounds and I hated the keyboard sounds and I
Interesting.
hated the digital mix, like that really metallic kind of like, as a bass player, I'd need some bottom end and 80s music never gave me enough bottom end. So
So what you're saying is you're an 80s porn kind of guy.
if you
You
look at me,
got
of course, yeah. It's porn written all over this face. Look at that.
Okay, so here's the next one. I'm still living with your ghost, lonely and dreaming of the West Coast. I don't want to.
Everclear, stop, done.
You got it.
I was
Okay.
just, I was swear to God, Holly,
I
I
would be
was
slightly
literally,
disappointed if you got it, or if you got it wrong. But I was trying to be emo when I saw
I, I
mine.
am not making this up. I am 100% telling you the truth on this. Not more than like 18 hours ago,
Mhm.
because I always put together playlists for exercise
Yep.
purposes, right? So I'm doing a lot of lifting right now, and I need lifting music.
Yep.
And I swear, I put together an Everclear list.
Oh my gosh.
Not more than 18 years ago, 18
I
hours ago.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, last one.
Hmm.
My hopes are so high that your kiss might kill me. So won't you kill me so I die happy? My heart is yours to fill or burst, to break or bury, or wear as jewelry, whichever you prefer.
I mean that I'm going to say emo because it sounds totally emo-y. But can we just sing some Everclear songs first before I get that one wrong too?
100%. I got the mic. Let's go.
Anyhow,
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, you are correct on that one. It is an emo song that is hands down by Dashboard Confessional.
Dashboard Confessional.
So,
So I used to date this girl back in the early 2000s, and she was
uh-huh.
like hardcore emo girl, and she was trying to really get me into bands like Dashboard, and Death Cab, and her big one was
Mhm.
Pedro the Lion, and that was really the only one that she really sucked me in was Pedro. They're a really good band.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There was a guy, he's a friend of mine, but he loved Dashboard, and I was like, they're even for me, they were too whiny. So
They're
no
super
offense to
whiny.
those who love
I
them,
could
but yeah.
not a Death Cab guy either. Like they were so omnipresent. They just
Yeah. Yeah.
enough.
I didn't hate them, but I also wasn't like adding them to my burned CD. Okay, let's see how you did here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, beautiful. So, Alan, I am so excited to announce that. I mean, you're the winner because, of course, there's no one to go against, but
Right.
you have ended with you got 6 right and only 2 wrong. So, finger snaps to
That's
you.
not bad. That's like a solid B minus.
Yeah, I mean, no, I won't say B plus, but
B
who am I?
plus. I'll
Math
take.
was never my strong suit. So.
Listen, for like 10:30 in the morning after having done my lifting to Everclear,
Mhm.
all things considered, I'll take my B minus or B plus.
I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
Making me proud here.
Oh,
Awesome. Well, Alan, thank you so much for hanging out and for a rad conversation and a fun game. Um, for listeners tuning in and all those fun, awesome songs that make you move your shoulders that you can just jive to, where can listeners go to consume your music and also follow you?
thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I am up on Spotify. I am up on Apple Music. That's where I usually kind of push people towards either of
Mhm.
those. Just my name, Alan Goldsher, Goldsher. And like I said, I have a shit ton of music out
You
there.
do.
It's ridiculous. And if you listen to it, I would love to hear from you. I would absolutely love to hear from you at info@goldnoterecords.com. Hit me up if you want to talk. Hit me up if you want to collab. I'm always interested in hearing what other people in this musical space have to say or think or do. So yeah, check it out. And once again, info@goldnoterecords.com, Spotify. Apple, every platform.
Things. I will make sure too for you guys who are tuning in. I'm going to hyperlink all of the social medias, the platforms, as well as dropping his contact info and also those books because I'm not gonna lie. Now I was already like, okay, I need to read like at least like 2 of these, 3 of these, 4 of these. You have a lot of fucking books, so I probably
Thank
won't read
you.
them all. But the Modest Mouse one, I'm gonna definitely check out now that you got death threats.
Before I let you go, and I could sit here all day and chop it up because we have a lot of fun. Clearly,
100%.
the one book that I would love for you to check out, I think you personally would dig it. You're a Beatles person, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I wrote this book called Paul is Undead, the British
saw that
Zombie
one.
Invasion.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a retelling of their story from like Liverpool to the breakup, as if John, Paul, and George are zombies and Ringo's a ninja. It's absurd. There's dismemberment, there's blood, there's gore, there's sex.
All the things I love: music, gore, blood, zombies,
and fart jokes. How do you feel about fart jokes?
I'll look past it.
Okay, a lot of there's like a good solid 3 pages of fart jokes. I'm going to turn you into a fart joke appreciator.
All right, we shall see. We shall see. And Alan, it was so much fun. I would love to have you back on after your album drops at least. We can catch back up on there and hopefully between now and then, I'm going to find somebody to challenge you and then we'll see how that goes. And if they beat you, then you have to defend your title.
Just give me Alanis and Everclear and it's
I'm going to make sure to leave those 2 specifically out.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome, Alan. Thanks for the giggles. Thanks for the very fun information that you delivered today. Everyone listening, make sure you go check him out, follow him, and definitely give his music and books and all the cool things he's doing some love. Again, Alan, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Holly. I really appreciate you too.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Teaser Talk. Head over to teasertalk.com to subscribe so you don't miss out on another episode. Until next week, keep rocking.